Hey guys, welcome to Game Back today, bringing you another video for our weapon blueprint series, and today we're covering the Ghost Contingency Pack as a whole, as well as the classic Ghost skin that was released with this pack, as well as the Ghostly Premonition blueprint here for the Kilo 141 or the HK433, turning it into something very similar to the ACR that Ghost used in Modern Warfare 2 campaign. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'll show you the pack, we'll build this weapon, see how it compares, and then jump in game and see how it handles in-game against bots. So here is the final design. Now again, you'll see here on screen really quick is the Ghost Contingency Pack as a whole. So this pack is available today in shop for 2,400 COD points. And what you get with that is the classic Ghost skin from Modern Warfare 2 campaign. This is one of the skins that Ghost had in the MW2 campaign. And again, we replayed that here with the remastered on the channel. If you're interested in that, you can go ahead and look on the channel. It is on there. But again, this was one of his skins that was now released alongside with the UDT skin if you did pre-order or purchase the Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. But again, this is the second skin that we have for Ghost as far as the classic skin goes for Modern Warfare 2. We also have the Ghostly Premonition Kilo 141 blueprint or the HK433. So this turns it into something very similar to the ACR that Ghost used in Modern Warfare 2 campaign. I'll show a picture there of the ACR that he used. Now the HK433 and the ACR are completely different weapons. However, they do look very similar. Now with this layout that we have here on this blueprint, it matches the color schema from Modern Warfare 2 for the ACR that Ghost did use, so we'll go into that more. We also have the Draugr handgun, which again, this is, I believe, the X16, just a generic handgun. Nothing too special about this one, but it does match the same color schema as Modern Warfare 2. We have the Shades Charm, the Ghost Dance melee weapon. We have the Hello Stranger takedown move. We also have the Cheers Ghost Quip, the Hollow calling card, the Ghostcom emblem, and the Grimace spray. So out of this, you really get, I would say, 2, perhaps 3 good, useful items for the 2,400, depending on what you're looking for. I think the skin and the 2 blueprints are really nice. The other ones, I don't really care too much for. Those are just added bonuses. But again, for what you're getting with this, it's going to be up to you whether or not it's worth it. But now we'll go ahead and back out here, and we see the final design, mainly for the Ghostly Premonition here, we're going to focus on first. Again, turning this mainly into something similar to the ACR used by Ghost in MW2. So what we'll do first is we'll back out and we're just going to look at the skin because I do really love this Ghost skin here. Go ahead and we'll view this skin for the operator outfit. So again, we had the UDT skin, which was released with the MW2 Remastered, and now we have the new classic Ghost skin that was released today with this bundle that you'll get as part of the 2,400 COD points. So you can see here with the Kilo 141 Ghostly Premonition, how that looks. Very tactical looking. This is one of his classic skins. Definitely brings back some nostalgia right there, some good memories. Pretty tactical looking. I do like this skin over any of the other ones. The UDT skin is also a nice one here as well. So we'll go ahead and back out. And then also just really one thing to focus on is definitely the detail with this. I think it's really is a great skin overall. Just the detail that you have on the rigs that he has, the weapons, the headsets, everything like that. Great detail on this. It's great to see this brought back to Modern Warfare 2019 and see how it looks like with updated graphics. So that's that. Now let's jump into the weapons here. So I'll go to my multiplayer classes. We'll start with the HK433 class, which I have. So I have the Ghostly Premonition. So quick look at the blueprints. We have the base Kilo, the Ghostly Premonition. So you can see outright just the differences there between them. Obviously we have some different attachments, but let's go ahead and jump into the blueprint itself. So here we have the Ghostly Premonition. Again, this is the final design here for this weapon. So let's go ahead and strip this down. We'll build it up from scratch. So if you have a base Kilo, you can build the same weapon, just minus the cosmetic changes. So we're going to start out with the muzzle brake. So here you can see this is going to assist with the recoil stabilization. The cons here, the ADS speed and the aiming stability. And you can see how the default compares to the Ghostly Premonition. We just have a slight color change there on that one. We'll go ahead and select that. Now the barrel, we're going to want the single arm 16.5-inch SOCOM barrel. So this is going to assist us with the damage range, bullet velocity, and the recoil control. The cons here being the ADS speed. So we'll go ahead and you can see how that compares again to the base versus the blueprint Ghostly Premonition. So we'll select that. Now the laser, we're going to do the 1 milliwatt laser. This is just a low power laser for hip fire accuracy, not visible to enemies. So this is a nice one to put on here. Now we have the Berliner as well as the Ghostly Premonition and the default. So we'll go ahead and select the Ghostly Premonition. You can see this is just a darker version of the laser itself. Now the optic for this one, we're going to want the Scout Combat Optic. I believe this is based off of the Elcan in real life. This is a 3.25 magnified optic. So you get the pros being the zoom level and the cons here, the ADS speed, because we have the extra weight on the optic. And you can see it's just a darker variation of the Elcan optic here. So we'll go ahead and select that. Now for the stock, this is an interesting one. We're going to go with the SynGuard Arms Pro Sniper stock. So this is going to assist with the aiming stability and the aim walking movement speed. Now you can see the default. There's no changes cosmetically, just a new color scheme to the weapon. So we have the default, the Crueline, the Battle Tested, and the Ghostly Premonition. You can see it's going to change that color pattern to match the weapon itself. Again, to match the ACR that Ghost used in Modern Warfare 2 campaign. So we'll go ahead and select that. Now that is all 5 attachments. Now how do some of these other attachments look again? Since we have this nice blueprint, you can see how the grip tape looks. It just replaces standard grip tape. Over the base, you have what looks like just a black electrical tape there. We also have the red on the under guard of the pistol grip there, or excuse me, the pistol guard, the trigger. So you have that red is pretty unique to this blueprint as well. Another nice one here is the magazine. So the magazine, you can see this is the only blueprint that we're not going to have a standard Stenag mag. So this gives us the 30 round Magpul PMag is what it looks like to me. And this is the only blueprint that at least I have where we don't have a standard 30 round Stenag mag on this weapon. So that looks pretty nice. Again, just different ammo choices. Again, you can see you'll go back to the default Stenags for the 50 and the 60s. But it is nice to have that PMag there on the weapon. Now the underbarrels, you can see how that will look. Again, no changes to the cosmetics. This blueprint itself heavily resembles the Berliner. Again, some changes here. What we can see, if I will go ahead and back out quickly and we'll go to our custom class, and what we'll do is compare this to the base Kilo 141 with the same attachments, because the weapon itself does change. If I go ahead and just select this, it does change the position of the laser, which is pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and select that, and then down here, what I'm going to do is just build this from scratch quickly. So again, we're going with the, you can see how this changes as we build it. We're just going to use the base attachments here. Muzzle brake, 16.5. Laser, we're going to go with the 1 milliwatt. We're going to go with that Elcan or the Scout Combat Optic, and then the SynGuard Arms Pro Sniper. So there it is with the same attachments. Now notice here that the laser is on the right-hand side of the weapon on that Picatinny versus on the top. So now what I'll do is back out, and we'll compare the two weapons. What I'll do is we'll toggle from the base Kilo with the same attachments up to the Ghostly Premonition blueprint so you can see the differences here. So here's the base Kilo with the same attachments as the Ghostly Premonition, and here's the Ghostly Premonition. So outright you can see the color changes as well as the PMag on the new blueprint and some other color changes there, but otherwise remains largely the same, just mainly the color changes and the PMag there. Now, some additions to this blueprint that are pretty unique, like I said, is that the laser is now mounted on the top Picatinny rail, right? We also have the, what looks like just a rubber band there to hold the laser in place. You see the tail for the laser is plugged in there, so it's going on top of the Picatinny rail or onto the left-hand side of the weapon, right there on the front to the handguard where the laser will be activated while the operator is holding it. So that rubber band is just holding that cord in place, and again you can see where it's activated there. Now that's different from the base weapon. With those you don't have any of that at all. If I just swap back quick for detail's sake, I think this is a pretty neat feature on this blueprint as well as the Berliner. It's going to be the same. So here you can see we have that 5 milliwatt, right, and there is 0 cord or anything on the handguard to activate that laser with that 1 milliwatt on the base Kilo. So again, that's a nice little added bonus to this. We got the rubber band, the cord, and then where it will be activated there on the left-hand side of the Picatinny, you can see. So takes that laser from the right side to the top of the Picatinny rails. We also have the, like I said, the black electrical tape on the pistol grip there. We have the red underneath the trigger guard. We have the Magpul PMag with 14, which is written on the left and right-hand side of the magazine. And then we have the color changes to the weapon itself. We have that, basically the black is all on the lower is all black, and then the upper is basically that gray color. So we can see here, if we just view it a little bit more, we have the fire, auto, and then safety on the left-hand side for the select fire options there in yellow. So that text changed colors. We have the British flag for the Union Jack there on the left-hand side of the weapon versus the Berliner. We have the German flag, and those are really the only major changes. Very similar to the Berliner blueprint, just the difference with the flag. Basically the same exact thing. You can see different color tape on the pistol grip. We have the German flag versus the Union Jack. We have the same type of laser setup, And then obviously here we just have a Stenag mag versus the Magpul P mag, and then we have the differences to the select fire switches and the color schema as well. We have the ZLR on the Berliner. So those are the major changes there. Again, this is the Ghostly Premonition, closely resembling the ACR that Ghost uses in Modern Warfare 2. But again, the Kilo 141 is an HK433, not a Remington ACR, but again, they did a good job making it look similar here. So the next one we're going to look at is the pistol. So this is the Draugr, I believe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is actually based off of Norse mythology. Basically means again walking, I believe, if my memory serves correctly. So here we go. This is the blueprint itself. It only comes with 4 attachments. So you can see we have the Vanguard Elite, which is going to assist with the damage range, bullet velocity, and the recoil control. The cons here being ADS speed and movement speed. The 5 milliwatt laser on this weapon for hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. Now again, this laser is going to be visible to enemies unless you're ADSing, so just keep that in mind when you're walking around with this. We have no optic on the weapon, but again, we have a free slot for that. We have the stipple pistol grip, which is going to assist with the ADS speed and sprint to fire. Cons here being the aiming stability. And then we have the match grade trigger. So again, this is an assist with the fire rate and the aiming stability. The con here being hip fire. Now, since we only have the 5 attachments, you'll see me in the gameplay. I'm playing in realism, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 17 round magazine on. I think the 26 might just be a little bit too much. We're not really trying to recreate cosmetically a Glock 18 here, so I'm going to just go ahead and put the 17 round mags on. Again, the base stays black, so it fits the pistol really nice, and you have enough ammunition to really make this viable versus the base 13 rounds that it comes with. So we'll go ahead and select the 17 round. And again, that's the final design for the Draugr handgun for the X16. So we'll go ahead and back out. And this, again, one more time, is our Ghostly Premonition assault rifle for the HK433. Now, if we get in game here, you can see the recoil pattern is going to be the exact same as the base Kilo again, or the HK433. It's going to go up slightly to the right. Very controllable, especially with that SOCOM barrel on there for the 16.5 inch. You can control this pretty well. It wouldn't be very viable, this blueprint setup, in Warzone, just because those long-range engagements. I think this definitely has a little bit too much kick to use it as is in Warzone if you're trying to engage at longer range. But if you're really trying to do the closer to medium range, this is definitely a very good setup. Obviously, you can select fire or just tap fire at a distance. Even in multiplayer versus Warzone, you can use it the same. But you'll see me here playing it in realism on some various different maps here today, and I really do like the way this thing handles. One recommendation I would make is to just, if you're going to use the blueprint as is, the reticle on the LCAN or the sight that you're using on this weapon, I would just change it. I don't really like the base red reticle that comes on this. I like the yellow crosshairs on there just to make it a little bit easier to see where your reticle is and keep shots on target. But again, that's personal preference. Other than that, I really like the way the base blueprint handles. And again, I think here playing it in realism, so it is one-shot headshots, so you may notice that a little bit, me dropping people pretty quickly. But again, this blueprint really, really well done. I think cosmetically, it's not a huge change. It's very similar, as we showed, to the Berliner blueprint. It's essentially the same thing, just minus the German flag, and it replaces it with the British Union Jack. But other than that, the color schema, they did a good job of closely resembling Ghost's ACR, the Remington ACR that he did use in Modern Warfare 2, almost to a T. It's pretty perfect, actually, and because the HK433 of the Kilo looks very similar to the ACR, I know a lot of people confuse it for the ACR in this game. I think it's definitely going to be a good option if you want to try to recreate that look. They even have it right down to the sight. I believe in the campaign he had a ACOG on this weapon, but again, we don't have an ACOG in this game. Maybe that'll be something that'll come in the future. But again, with that LCAN, I think it looks really nice. And I do like this blueprint as well as the Berliner blueprint, just because you can put that laser on the top. But one more thing here, we'll just back out of the gameplay quick. I did want to show you just how the camouflage looked on this weapon. So you'll see here, pretty unique looking camouflage options for this. And again, you can see how it kind of looks faded. So you're not getting a clean overall camo color here. You have like the faded out of the magazine. So it's a nice transition. I think it makes the camo look really cool. I believe this is the only weapon where the camouflage looks like this. So you're not getting a full colored, clean camouflage weapon here. It's a little bit faded. We have the black. Gives it like a nice little rustic wear and tear look to the weapon, I think. And you can see how it looks just with some of these digitals. I think it looks really neat. So this is actually one of my favorite weapons as far as how the camouflages look on there. Again, I don't think you can make the camos look like this with any other weapon. You can see that faded look above the magazine well, the pistol grip, as well as on the handguard there for this weapon. I believe those are really the only spots. It just looks nice and worn. So again, that's that. Very nice looking weapon overall. I love the way the camos look on this, and the Kilo is one of my favorite weapons in the game by far, especially in Warzone. So if you didn't catch the video, I'll link down below the couple of the Kilo 141 loadouts that we did, or the HK433 here for Warzone if you're interested in that as well. Got a nice win. Actually, I believe my highest solo win the other day with a 15 kill win using the Kilo 141. So I'll show that setup at the top. Check the description down below for that, as well as some additional setups that I did in Warzone as well as multiplayer. But let me know down below what you guys think of this blueprint. I know we did a little bit longer of a video today. I'm going to leave you guys with the gameplay here just so you can see how this thing works. But you can see at the beginning there the recoil pattern, how the iron sights look on this weapon. Again, it's going to be the exact same as the Berliner, so there's no major changes to that at all. But go ahead and let me know down below what you guys think of the Ghost Contingency Pack. We also had the Security Detail Bundle, which was in shop today, finally, after 3 weeks of waiting and checking daily. That finally came out, so I will be covering that in tomorrow's video. So we have a really nice AK-47 blueprint there and a really nice Milsim skin for the Spetsnaz operator Bale, which I'm really excited about and excited to cover and bring you guys that, and a couple different options for builds that we can use with that blueprint. So let me know down below what you think of the, again, the Ghost Contingency Bundle, as well as what you're looking forward to with the Security Detail Bundle. And there was also some additional ones released today on the COD tracker. So we do have word of the Allegiance Milsim operators on the way. We also have a bunch of different bundles which were released. I believe 12 new ones which were released on the COD tracker today. Whether or not those are going to be coming for the remainder here of Season 3, and some may bleed over into Season 4, not quite sure yet. But we do have some pretty cool ones coming, and one of them being the operator on the front of the Modern Warfare 2 cover for the game art there. That operator is coming, so I'll show a picture of that here if I can. But we have some pretty neat blueprints coming at the end. We are approaching 13 days out from Season 4, so be sure to comment down below what you want to see for weapons in Season 4, what you want to see for blueprints, Milsim operators overall, what you want to see in the store, in the Battle Pass system as well. I'll be covering that all in a video here probably this weekend. We're going to roll up my wish list for weapons for Seasons 4 and beyond, as well as Milsim operators, all that. So go ahead and comment down below. I'm going to compile all that list from what I really want to see, what you guys are commenting, and we'll go ahead and combine that. So look out for that video over the weekend. But again, I'm going to leave you guys with the gameplay. Again, this is the Kilo 141 of the HK433 Ghostly Premonition bundle as part of the Ghost Contingency Pack, available in shop today for 2,400 COD points. Till next time, Buffner Gaming, out.
Outlaw. We're RTB for refuel. Good luck, guys.
Go, Charlie! Stand down, lads. They've had enough for one day.